Disclaimer. The video serves informational and entertainment purpose only. The content is considered speculative and should not be treated as confirmed fact. We encourage you to conduct your research and form your conclusion. They warned her, quietly, behind closed doors, with contract clauses written in lawyer speak so sharp it could draw blood. But Rachel Zegler, she didn't listen. And now, she might have to pay $5 million just to make it stop. Not for walking away, not for quitting, but for doing something far worse. For talking, for saying too much to the wrong people at the wrong time, and leaving a digital trail that's now being called reputational damage by producers ready to lawyer up. That's right, a secret clause in her contract, the kind they only pull out when things go nuclear, might cost Rachel her biggest paycheck yet. And the craziest part? Her team isn't denying it. They're saying nothing, just no comment, and in Hollywood, silence is louder than guilt.
A lot of what you see with Zegler is really just a pretty common Gen Z mentality and approach to work. She believes that she should be able to express herself and speak her truth or whatever nonsense, regardless of the consequences to everybody else. In reality, you have a job. You're getting paid to do this job. You signed on the dotted line. You took on the role. And that job comes with certain basic responsibilities. And one of the most basic is the responsibility to control yourself and comport yourself a certain way publicly so that you don't harm the project, thereby harm all the hundreds of other people who are working on it.
And in the film industry, when you are an actor, when you sign one of these contracts in the entertainment industry, I think a lot of people on the outside think that, if you are somebody who, has a lot of publicity around you and your name's attached to a project, that means that you have a ton of control or a ton of intel, but usually that is not the case. As an actor, you don't get to dictate anything. You don't get to dictate if a film actually happens. You don't get to dictate when it is shot, how it is shot, if you can ever speak about it to the public. You are simply just there to show up and say your lines and look the way they want you to look. That is our job, and that was my job on this production. So again, that's really all I can say. Which honestly kind of seems like maybe this path that I'm taking right now is the path that Rachel Zegler should have taken instead of just running her mouth for the last 3 years.
Rachel Zegler didn't fall into this role. She fought for it. Evita was supposed to be her Broadway comeback, the role that reminded everyone she wasn't just a screen star, she was a stage phenom, a triple threat, a leading lady with depth. It had all the ingredients: a legacy character, a high-profile production, a fresh, bold take. And Rachel? She wanted to bring something real to the part, but somewhere between real and rebellious, something broke. Behind the scenes, whispers started. Missed rehearsals, tense exchanges, crew complaints. A vibe that was less rising star and more rising tension. And then, the leak. Private messages allegedly from Rachel, emotional, raw, and definitely not meant for the public, painted a much darker picture. She claimed she was set up, that she was never wanted, that she was made to feel like an outsider in her own show. And when those messages hit the internet, it was like setting a match to a room full of fog. Suddenly, fans were divided. Some said she was standing up for herself. Others accused her of throwing her cast under the bus. Again. And here's where it went nuclear. Because this wasn't just messy. It was contract-breaking messy. See, most actors don't talk about this part, but when you sign on to a production that size, you sign your image over too. There are clauses that protect the brand. Clauses that say, you don't publicly damage the show, its team, or your co-stars. Clauses that can come back to bite, hard. And now, sources say that's exactly what's happening. The producers, they're done playing nice. They've found the clause, and they're ready to use it. The fine? Reportedly up to $5 million. All for words said off stage. That hit harder than anything she ever sang on it. At first, it felt like damage control. The leaked texts? Embarrassing but survivable. The fan backlash? Loud but fleeting. But the producers? They didn't flinch. Instead, they did something way worse than responding. They got quiet. Meetings were held, lawyers were called, and behind those soundproof doors, they dusted off the clause. One insider close to the production leaked this. It was always there, page 37, reputation clause. If public comments damage the production's viability, the company reserves the right to seek compensation. And that's exactly what they're doing. Not out of pettiness, not for revenge, but to send a message. This isn't Broadway high school, it's business, big business. And Rachel? She's learning that the hard way. Now her reps are in spin mode, trying to recontextualize her quotes, saying she was emotionally exhausted and never intended to harm the production. But guess what? Intent doesn't matter. Not when there's a trail. Not when the cast walked out. Not when producers are looking at millions lost in reputation, investors, and canceled press. Rachel? She's trying to play it cool, tweeting cryptic quotes, posting behind-the-scenes selfies with captions like, Truth always finds the light. But you know what that sounds like to the industry? Defiance. And defiance, after a contract breach, that's the kiss of death. And the fans, they're split. Some are defending her like she's being scapegoated. Others are calling it karma for what she allegedly did during Snow White, Hunger Games, and now Evita. But behind all that noise is a bill, $5 million. Not for walking out, not for failing to perform, but for talking, for pulling back the curtain and getting crushed when the machinery behind it struck back.
We're trying to inspire sympathy for millions of people who have to go out there every day and grind on their feet, not doing luxurious things. It's just not gonna happen.
And a Jamie Lloyd production of Evita. I promise y'all don't need to be worrying about her career like that.
Because there's so many people that will view you as competition, or they'll make you feel not as good as you deserve to feel.
I just saw this video that was like, Rachel Zegler doesn't have a single movie role lined up after Snow White.
I deserve to be paid for every hour that it is streamed online.
When you're there and you're trying to do your best, you've worked on this part, you spend hours and hours on end trying to get this character just down right for your big audition. And then if you have a producer or casting director sitting there and then eating food in front of you, yeah, it can be very annoying. Personally, I've never had that experience.
Is this because of Snow White or is this because of something else? Like y'all just want to jump on another woman's hate train? You know, this is actually looking pretty familiar. Kind of reminds me of another woman that had a hate campaign. But that's for a different video. But yeah, I won't sit back and let another hate train on another woman continue.
Rachel Zegler is very upset with all of us over the reaction we've had. You can tell this because she's speaking in riddles. Check it out.
And to everyone who hates when I win, the winged victory came to the Louvre in pieces, and people still line up to see her. And I can only hope that despite my flaws, and despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many of them, that at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
Oh, Rachel, I hate to break it to you because people did not actually line up to see you.
Let's be clear. A $5 million fine? That's not just a penalty. It's a scarlet letter. It says, this actor cost us. It says, this actor is difficult. This actor talks too much. This actor is a liability. And in an industry where reputations are traded like currency, that's career poison. Theaters, blacklisting quietly, studios, ghosting, casting agents, no longer replying to just checking in emails. One showrunner anonymously told Deadline, "We don't have time for drama with a trailer budget. If it's between Rachel and someone safe, we go with safe." And Netflix, they've moved on. Disney, still recovering from the Snow White debacle. Broadway, let's just say, no one's exactly rushing to cast her in the Funny Girl revival. And here's what stings the most. This isn't about one mistake. This is about patterns. Rachel's name keeps popping up, not for breakout performances or standing ovations, but for exits, drama, walkouts, and clauses. And even her defenders are running out of ways to spin it. Because here's the thing about grace in Hollywood. You get it, until you don't. You're forgiven once, maybe even twice. But when every project starts ending with lawyers instead of applause, they stop asking if you're talented. They start asking if you're worth the risk. And the people making that decision aren't her fans. They're the ones behind closed doors, the money people, the power brokers, and they're already having the only conversation that matters. What's the cost of working with her? And what's the cost of replacing her? And right now, replacing her looks cheaper.
Something I love about this icon, Rachel Zegler, is the fact that she's just authentically herself. No matter what, she will call things out if things need to be called out, and she will have a strong stance on it, and I love her so much for that. She is just a absolute icon. I will forever be a Rachel Zegler stan till the day I die. Like literally, if I'm probably gonna still stan her as well. I love this icon so much, such a powerhouse. Her singing, oh my god. Her acting, oh my god. Her in Evita, oh my god. Rachel, why do you do this to me? I don't have any money. And you're making me go to Evita. You are making me go to Evita because I want to see you. I want to see you being the powerhouse person you are. I love you so much, Rachel Zegler. I really, really do.
You know what's easy? Judging someone from a distance. Reading tweets, watching clips, treating real people like characters in a show we didn't even buy tickets to. But what we're watching with Rachel Zegler, It's not just drama. It's not just ego. It's a young woman, 22 years old, trying to navigate immense power with no map. She rose fast, faster than most, plucked from YouTube and thrown into Spielberg's lens, given roles most actresses wait a lifetime for. And maybe she wasn't ready. Because success doesn't come with training wheels. No one tells you how to lead a cast, how to speak in interviews, how to stand up for yourself without setting fire to the room. Rachel thought passion would carry her, that if she cared enough, felt enough, it would all work out. But in this world, caring too loudly is called difficult. Being honest is unfiltered. Being outspoken is a risk. And the moment you make people uncomfortable, they don't fix it. They replace you. So now she stands alone. Not canceled, not condemned, just fading. From press tours, from red carpets, or from call sheets. And maybe she's asking herself the one question every star dreads. Did I just talk my way out of the career I fought so hard to build? And the truth? Only time and silence will answer that.
The Rachel Zegler effect has begun. According to scooper Daniel RPK, Rachel Zegler has been recast in Paddington 3 due to strikes, but I have a sneaking suspicion the strikes are only a cop-out for the fact that she has had so much negative press. She is certainly one of the key reasons why the Snow White movie is absolutely doomed. She's probably one of the key reasons why the next Hunger Games movie is gonna totally flop. And now the folks that are making the third Paddington movie are probably just using the strikes as an excuse to make sure that she's recast. Because I think if they outwardly said, well, we recast her because she just ruins everything she touches, that might not be a good look from the studio. But my speculation is that is actually what's going on.
She wanted to be the voice that changed the game. But maybe the game doesn't change for voices like hers. Not yet. And that's the tea for today. My little gossip gremlins. If you enjoyed this drama buffet, don't forget to hit that like button like it's your ex's new partner's Instagram. Aggressively and with zero shame. Beauty. Subscribe to Fame Files so you never miss a single scandal, meltdown, or red carpet disaster. I'm literally serving up hot gossip every single day, even if my Wi-Fi begs me to stop. And listen, be a doll and tap that bell too, okay? Because your girl Macy's got bills to pay, celeb egos to roast, and a grocery cart full of overpriced almond milk that won't buy itself. Shopping cart money. So until next time, stay nosy, stay fabulous, and remember, I spill it so you don't have to sip in silence. Bye.